Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right. Okay, so I'm going to really talk about this collective as far as I do feel like there is a return coming, but there is something to do with your emotions you need to simmer down on, okay? And I actually just uploaded a reading on TikTok, but that one's kind of more of a general basis, and I kind of went in a little bit of depth of what's going on with, their person. I feel like with this reading, what's going on with your person is going to be a little bit different than what I just uploaded, okay? But pretty much, go check out my TikTok page. But what I talked about is pretty much your person is going to make a return, but I feel like for this collective, you're still holding in some pent-up anger, resentments, very much negative emotions when it comes towards your person. However, this is not a reading of your feelings are not validated, okay? But as a retired crash out girly, lashing out on somebody does you no good, okay? For one, you're not really in your divine feminine energy. Gender does not matter when I say that. When you kind of lash out like that, you're kind of giving them too much of your energy than what you need to do. And number three, it's not really who you are. And I feel like that's how this collective is. I don't feel like you are somebody that likes that lashing out. It's like you become somebody you don't recognize, okay? And by the end of the day, you're not going to get a favorable outcome by lashing out on somebody. And I feel like this collective, maybe when you think about this person or this person's up in your energy, I feel like you're very easily triggered by this person. Why is that simmering up? Because in the nice way, you're still not healed when it comes towards this person. Now, when I say all this, kind of like I said in my TikTok, it's not about you need to forgive them or kiss their... you don't need to do all that. You could set up firm boundaries with somebody, again, without lashing out. And I feel like that's what this collective you're planning on doing. Okay. Or if you kind of think, if this person comes back, no, that's where this reading's kind of coming to play. And again, this is not a reading of your, feelings or your emotions are not very much validated. It very much is. It's just more about control your emotion. There is karmic cycles that do need to be cleared out. And what this is going to trigger out of you is how much you are essentially not healed from this person. So in the long run, I will get ahead of this. If this person's making a return and you're having that, you're what I call your blood is boiling, tell them, I'm very triggered right now. I don't want to have this conversation with you right now. I need you to go away. I'm not healed. Neither are you. Like, you could call them out, but remain calm on it. But you cussing somebody out and going off on somebody to prove your point and to prove it's not standing in your power. You're showing off your wounded energy, and that's not good, okay? Now, clearly when it comes to this person, they're clearly an avoidant, and that's where you're holding, quote, that resentment, that anger, that hurt towards, okay? What are avoidants? They don't like feeling love. Why? Because love has always hurt your person. It has hurt you in some form or fashion as well, but you keep in mind, masculine energies and feminine energies are very different. Runner, chaser energies are very different. Clearly, this collective in the past, or maybe in a subtle way, you still are in a subtle way, that, you've been in your chasing energy. Regardless of the trauma that has been circulating, all you crave is love, where your person is handling it very differently. Again, I'm not justifying behaviors, but that's just how they operate. They were traumatized, kind of like you, at a very young age when it comes to love, and all they ever recognize the word love is pain. Love is not love. Love is not gentle. Love is not kind. It hurts me. So they're warning you, if you become that, I'm going to keep using that term throughout this reading, lashing out on them, going off on them, giving them the middle finger, you are going to be, I guess, that straw on the camel's back towards that avoidant of, this is why I don't choose love, because this collective, you would become an example of that. Is that what you really want? You're not meant to heal them. You're not meant to fix them, but you're meant to handle it by setting up firm boundaries with this person without giving them the full-blown middle finger, okay? And I will break all this down, all right? So, if that's kind of already how you're feeling, maybe this is for you, okay? So I will say immediately, and like I said, I'll go in detail to really confirm if this is your reading, but I feel like something swiftly is coming when it comes towards your person, okay? But odds are, if you're still holding those kind of resentments towards this person, it's not the time for union to get back together, be on the same page with them. We all know this, but there is a lesson behind it. I'll get into it. What is going on with the overall energy, just to kind of confirm, and then I'll break this bad boy down. Let me actually just do 3. Okay. Gap, flirting with danger, gap year, and then hidden talent. Wow. With that gap year specifically, it could be almost a year since you've even heard from this person. Immediately, I will say there is a no contact scenario going on. I'm also hearing as well, you could only, because I got gap year, this says 2040 and 2041, but I'm hearing you guys age-wise could only be a year apart. Maybe you guys are not that far off in your, age years as well, but I'm like I said, that 1 year, you could have not heard from this person in almost a year, okay? I feel like with this collective, you maybe are focusing on mission work, and I've been tapping into a lot of feminines, lately that are very much drawn towards their mission work, okay, whatever, that is. I feel like you are expressing a certain talent, maybe at a young age you never thought you would have, you never really were dwelled into, and all of a sudden maybe this past year things have came up and you realize, hey, I'm really, really good at this, okay? Maybe that is something you're kind of working on, is maybe working on your own business. What's this flirting with danger? And then backstage drama right there. Conflict that occurs behind the scenes, hidden tensions. Okay. I feel like with that flirting with danger, that is something to do with your person. I don't feel like it's this collective's energy, okay? And that's why they're saying, like, I'm kind of hearing when it comes to your person, what they're going through literally behind the scenes is, karma enough for them. Like, they're already getting kicked in the guts of whatever's going on, okay? I'm kind of hearing they got themselves into a little bit of mess that they should not have. Maybe they got themselves with that flirting with danger, got involved with maybe somebody romantically that maybe they should not have. It's kind of like, again, they maybe thought the grass was greener on the other side. They thought, I feel like this person at one point or during this gap year, because I'm going to continue to say it, maybe was with somebody, or they tried to move on with somebody and it did not go according to plan at all. I think that, if they got the opposite of what they were expecting to get out of it. Let me see what that hidden talent is. X on the scene. I'm telling you, your person, they're in the picture again, trying to get back in your good graces, possible second chances, sliding in DMs. I'm going to be honest, I feel like I don't think, especially with the way this collective's feeling towards their person, clearly a text message is not going to cut it. And I think your person's very aware of that, especially if they are seeing your hidden talent. If you're going on social media and you're, expressing your talents or your aspirations. For some of you, it could be music, or I'm hearing art. There's something to do with the artistic form, literally like painting, drawing. But I'm also hearing music for some of you. You could be, getting yourself out there. And I think your person's seeing that. They're seeing how much you're glowing right now. So in a weird way, I feel like they know a text message or sliding in your DMs is not going to cut it, because I feel like in their mind, they know you would just ignore them. And the X marks the spot. X's could be very significant, like literally the letter X. Power couple. I feel like now there is something now that somebody has a change of heart, and it took for some form of drama. Maybe now they're kind of realizing that I've been tapping into a lot of masculines lately where they're doing the finally, my person's the one. They've always been the one. Gap year. Escapades right there. I got to cover that up. Entanglements, romantic or actual exploits, unexpected flings, and then forbidden. I think this person's always treated you like the forbidden fruit. And I can maybe now see where the tensions is coming up. See, on my TikTok, I talked about more that, your person could be going through something more financial. I think this person, and the reason I think you're so triggered by this person is because they could have treated you like a forbidden fruit, but everybody else they put on the scene for. They put on social media, they bragged about them, they flaunted them off, but they kept hidden. I could see where that could be very much triggering. Power couple. Abandoned goals. Ooh. Something you've worked hard on is falling apart. Letting dreams gather dust. Change in priorities. your person. But I also feel like, I'm sure this collective, you're getting tired of that saying, well, everything happens for a reason, okay? Clearly there is a runner chaser dynamic going on, and be honest with yourself with this collective in your own. You're kind of being an avoidant yourself, okay, when it comes to this person. Why? Because you're still not healed, and that is completely okay, okay? But why do runner and chasers end up splitting up? Because for this collective, whatever you're meant to do as far as this talent, keep it up. Don't make these details fit, okay? I feel like you're maybe expressing yourself on social media. For some of you, it could be to do with like, more just like a marketing thing. You're trying to get your name out there, some form of fashion, whatever you're doing. Or I'm hearing for some of you could have just started doing it. Do it. This is your sign to do it, okay? Now, as far as with that, like I said, with that abandoned goals, it's like maybe in the past, and be honest with yourself, you were putting this person above your own life. You made this person your whole world. And I brought it up on my TikTok page, and I brought it up maybe a week or two ago. What is the word resentment? And I read an article about it, and believe it or not, it is kind of triggering. Hear me out on what I'm about to say, okay? Resentment, it's not your fault, but it kind of is your fault, okay? What resentment simply is your emotions are being brought up to the surface that are not healed, right? Resentments is when you kind of prioritize, or you kind of, you have some form of expectation, you seek some form of potential out of, my bow's all messed up, out of, someone or some situation, okay? You didn't get the results that you want, and instead of grounding yourself, healing it, you hold all that in, and that's where resentment is. I always look like a ball of fur in the pit of your stomach. You're not letting it go. It's like a clenched fist. You need to let it go. You need to let the steering wheel go. You're not doing that, because in a subtle way, you're still, even right now, holding some form of expectation that is not going your way. You want it to work in the 3D, but the 5D is telling you it's not happening. So in a way, in that part, I will say for this collective, and I don't mean to trigger this collective, that part's not your person's fault if you held some form of expectation on this person, especially if this person, and I'll keep going, if they led you on, if they kind of maybe for some, they blunt out told you no, that part's not your person's fault. Were they jerks back then? Yes. Did they lead you on? Yeah, they sure did. And I'm not, justifying that, what your person did was their fault, but I feel like in the past, you excuse a lot of behavior. Well, they'll eventually choose me. Well, I want them to work out. Or you sat in heartbrokenness, and then when, quote, reality checks set in, you're, again, still not releasing it. You're still holding some form of expectation. I know, resentments, and we're all guilty of resentment. I feel like every human being on this earth is guilty of holding something against somebody or some situation, some form of fashion. But there's a reason this is being brought up to the surface, your person, because that resentment is not serving you. I'm not saying you need to forgive them, because clearly if this is your reading so far, this collective, you're not ready to forgive this person, and that is okay. But that's where you kind of need to ground yourself for the time being when this person comes in. Lashing out is all you're doing for this person is reflecting how wounded you are. That's not standing in your power. Again, as a retired crash out girly herself, okay? Let me just do a couple more, or I keep saying a couple more, that never happens. Let me just see what else is going on. Judgmental stares and conceding. Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't mean to trigger this collective, but I feel like this is something this is what makes you angry too. Not only this person could have potentially moved on. It's not so much that this person, I feel like, moved on. For some of you, yes, it could be triggering, don't get me wrong, but I think it's more of, there's something about a forbidden fruit. This person was maybe embarrassed of you, especially if you're coming out in your creativeness right now, in your artistic form right now. Maybe that's something your person was always side-eyeing and was always embarrassed of, and that comes with emotional immaturity. Acknowledging or accepting something reluctantly, willing to let go of one's stance or accept situations that cannot be changed. That's exactly what I'm saying for this collective. And then love blossoms, and then sabotage. Yeah, deliberate or indirect actions that undermine career or reputation, creates obstacles, subtle actions right there. I got the angel number 111 right here. 111 could be very significant to you as well. Pop culture influence. There's something about your influencing. Again, I'm getting more of an artistic way right there, okay? And that's where I'm saying, like, when this person was really active in your life in the nicest way, I think this collective, you really abandoned your work for this person, or you abandoned your goals. You, with that sabotage, I don't think this person did anything to sabotage. I think you prioritize this person, and that part, again, is not your person's fault, especially if the red flags were there that they didn't prioritize you. And that is a hard reality to set in sometimes, and that's where there is a healing thing that needs to be adjusted. Romance deepens and flourishes. I'm going to be honest, I think your person has had a change of heart. I think it has to do with some form of chaos. But the pivotal thing, the one thing you guys are mirroring on with each other, is you both with that escapades. I'm also hearing escape as well, but that's another thing. This person could be coming in with lust, and that's where that forbidden fruit is. This person's always came in lustful for you and never actually came in with anything substantial for you. That's another quote resentment that could have set in. Another thing, sorry, don't sleep with this person. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I think all of a sudden there's a change of heart. But like I said, the both of you still need some healing to do when it does come to moving forward. But let me see now. I'm only going to probably do this briefly to really confirm if this is still your reading. I really want to see now, how does this collective, how do you feel about this person? Okay, how do you feel about this person? How does this collective, how do you feel about this person? I think we already know, but I want to see more in detail. Not amused, and she's a unicorn right there. One of a kind, hard to find, irreplaceable right there. I think that's how you look at yourself, that you're a unicorn, you're irreplaceable. I have to say, and there's another reason that, those angers are, setting in. And I think this collective, you're kind of confusing it as I'm standing in my power, which you are. You have found your self-worth. I think you are realizing like that, nobody's going to find another like me. Nobody, this person is never going to find someone that loves them as hard as I do. There is something about you finally are acknowledging how good and powerful of a person you are. But yeah, you are fed up when it comes to this person's nonsense. I don't think you want any part of that's exactly what I've been feeling for the whole reading with that not amused right there. Yeah, Queen Bee. You're it. You're the one. It's like anybody would be lucky to have someone like me, near me. But again, with that lashing out, that's where I'm saying, I think if I cuss this person out, I'm staying in my power. No, you're not. You're still reflecting how wounded you are. And that's where this whole reading could be triggering, because yes, there has been a lot of improvements with this collective. And again, it's more to do with their self-worth, but it's more of there's still some deep inner wounding that is still going on. Okay. Yeah, rising star, recognition. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you're doing, a favorable outcome, joyful transformation. I don't think this is more about you, even though it's kind of, reflecting towards your person. Again, you're not amused. I feel like you're truly like, I think there's pure detachment going on when it comes towards this person, sort of. But again, when you think about this person, they're up in your energy, it is just pure anger that comes in. Okay. Whatever your talents are, and again, you're that artistic, you're probably just getting started at something. Again, I'm hearing keep going. I'm hearing A Star Is Born with, the movie. That movie could be very significant. Blessed union, meant to be together. Deep down in that little gut of yours, okay? And that's where I'm saying it's deep down. You're fed up, you're not amused, but deep down, let me confirm that blessed union. Oh. The clock is slow and rocking horse indecision, and it's taking too long. Yeah, you're right. I think deep down you still want a union with this person. And that is another thing you're holding anger. It's maybe, I don't know if it's so much at yourself or this person, but you're kind of maybe even angry at the universe. Like, why did this person treat me like dog? But I still want them. They're taking their sweet time coming my way, making some form of improvements. I think you truly again, this is deep down. You don't know how to feel about this person. I think in your own right, be honest, yes, I know you're angry at this person, but I feel like you're more angry at yourself for why do I still love this person after everything they put me through? That may be something to reflect on. And that is okay if you still do. But instead of fighting it, because what are you doing? You're becoming avoidant yourself. And even if and again, use discernment. If you truly don't want this person back, that is completely okay. I am definitely not saying to take that back. But again, I said this earlier in the reading. It's like you're trying to find a way to forgive this person, want this union, but you can't seem to find it. And if you can't find it, that is okay, and that is your own pace to deal with. But be honest with yourself. And I kind of said this in my TikToks. I feel like you're scared to death that this could be over with this person. So in your mind, you want to have the upper hand by pushing this person away rather than hurting you one last time. You're kind of an avoidant in your own right. And I'll get in your person. They're not off the hook. What they've done, treating you like a forbidden fruit, you're right. That's childish energy. My bow is messed up. Don't judge me, okay? It's not being stable right now like your man. Just saying. Rising star. All-seeing eye, truth, clarity, perspective. In your mind, I don't think you got the closure either. I don't think, even though, yes, this person has shown you how they're behaving, I think you still want more out of this person of like, why did you do that? Tell me the truth, how you feel about me. It's like you really want to back this person up in a corner. Again, deep down. She's a unicorn. Cost of vanity. Superficial relationship. And then forever yours right there. Twin flame. This is still your energy towards this person, okay? I think that you do look at this person as very vain. Maybe in a subtle way, maybe you look at this person as maybe they're too full of themselves, like they could do no wrong. Maybe you do look at this person as they also have a hard time taking accountability, so that's why they behave the way that they do. A love to last a lifetime. I think that you're really hooked up on this label, twin flame. You are terrified to see them, if this is going to be we'll see each other in the next lifetime. In your own right, there is some form of control issues going on with whether you want to admit it or not, okay? That's something subconsciously that's going on. You want this to work out in your favor, under your timing, under your stances. It hasn't this entire time. So instead of surrendering, releasing, trusting the universe, focusing on you, you're becoming a rising star. You are putting your artistic abilities out into the world. That is amazing. Most people don't have the balls to do that anymore. Instead, you want things to go your way. So instead of grounding yourself, you want to point the finger at your person. And if you're still angry for what they put you through, that is okay. You have every right to feel that way, but it needs more time to heal. Quit having some form of expectation. Oh, this is taking too long. After all this time, I still have feelings for them after, though I hate the way they made me feel. And that's okay. Acknowledge it. Be honest with yourself about it. But I feel like that is what's coming up between you and your person is maybe the both of you need to be honest with each other. Not expect an outcome out of anything, but be honest with each other without lashing out. Just saying. All right. Let me now kind of see, how does your person feel about you? I feel like I'm a little nervous on this one. I feel like it's going to be like a change of heart. We'll see. If I could shuffle cards, that'd be great. All right. How does this person feel about this collective? How does this person feel about this collective? Bottled up, 2 possibilities, and time is running out. Ugh, I don't like this. I'm grabbing my blanket. It's getting cold in my house. I think they're the opposite of you. I think they're calm, cool as a cucumber. You both are mirroring that time is running out. Time is taking way too long. I think in your person's mind, I'm going to be honest, and this is going to really trigger you. They're not ready for you. They're not ready for something substantial. Do they want to just as much as you do? Absolutely. Okay. In their mind, and again, this is childish behavior, instead of just taking the step back and not coming in and doing some more shadow work and healing, in their mind, they don't want to lose you, even if it means pulling some crud on you. Even if, and do I think they're doing this intentionally? No. They don't want to lose you. Even if that simply means picking a fight with you. Even if that means getting your feathers all ruffled up. You both, in a subtle way, are terrified of losing each other, but it's so toxic. Let me see more about what this bottled up is. Shut up, voodoo doll, manipulation, scheming, and bad influences. They're scheming. Bottled up. What's this? What are they bottling up? The hand of fate, fated relationship, forces beyond your control. Yeah, this is typical avoidant, what I was talking about earlier, okay? That's where I was saying just a minute ago that maybe what's coming up is you two need to be honest with each other. Now, obviously, you can't make this person open up to you, okay? They are bottling up fate between the two of you. There's simple feelings towards you. You both are mirrors, maybe true twins here. You're bottling up some negative emotions. They're bottling up positive emotions when it comes to you. As bad as this sounds with that crossroads, I think they're looking to get a rise out of you so they can finally say, oh, my person's just like the rest of them. They hurt me just like the rest of them. Yes, I didn't handle things the proper way, but they reacted a certain way just like the rest of them did. I'm really out. It's like they're coming in to sabotage something. That's why immediately at the beginning of this reading, I'm here, don't do it. Don't lash out. Let me do another one for the top row. Photographs, yeah, they're in nostalgia. They clearly still have photos of you. They're still going back in memory lane. I do think this person misses you. I really do. Trouble lurking, red flags. I think this person upright knows they're not ready for you, but they don't want to lose you. And do I think they mean to cause up a ruckus? No, but if that's what it takes to keep you, yes, because they'll get a reaction out of you. They kind of want to say or do anything other than you telling them to go away. 2 possibilities. But like I said, that's where the crossroad is going. Okay, the traveler, yeah, they're coming. They're wanting to come right towards you. Begin your journey. Some of you could be at a long distance relationship, okay? That's where I'm saying it's kind of in the middle. They are terrified of losing you, but if that's what it takes, they're going to sabotage it to prove a point on why they've been avoidant, which is toxic. It's not good. So no wonder this collective, you have such... I can feel the frustrations because, and again, I feel like how your person's operating, I'm getting chill sign. It's more of a subconscious thing. It's not like, I don't think they're sitting on their bed doing this is what's happening. I'm going to manipulate the crap out of my person, but they are in this middle, got notification sign. They're in this indecisiveness of, I don't know which direction to go, so let me see what kind of reaction I get out of them. I feel like they're wanting to say or do anything other than opening up their feelings towards you, whether it is trying to see what kind of reaction they're going to get out of you, because I feel like this person's very aware of the way they treated you, okay? But... if that's not the case, if let's just say in their, because I feel like I'm going in their mind. Okay, in my mind, if my person handles it calmly, then I'm going to kind of sugarcoat things. You see what I'm saying? It's literally, they have a plan in their mind. What they are not expecting is you to hold boundaries on them. In their mind, you're either going to cuss them out or you're going to be like, oh my God, baby, come here. I missed you. They know a plan. They're not expecting you. Now, twin flame shut up. They're still an avoidant. I think they're coming to a consensus of maybe what this is, and it's scaring the crap out of them. They're still nervous as hell. All right. Photographs. There's that voodoo doll. Scheming and controlling and bad influences. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They do look at you as faded. They are coming forward. They're already probably on their way. So I'm going to be honest, this could be very quick. Let me just do a couple more. Okay. On them, and then we'll move on. The T, and then the Knight's Tail. Alice in Wonderland could be very significant to you. Like, that's little Alice right there. Alice, that you or this person could be named Alice. That could be significant. But yeah, having a reputation. That's what I'm saying. This person's watching you on whatever artistic abilities. And I think another thing is like, I think the reason they're coming in, but sign right there, I always look at this as my Knight of Cups. They're coming in for an act of love, but I'm getting bare minimum. But we'll get into their true intentions coming up next. But anyways, it's like they really underestimate you on how good you are doing. Not that they ever talk down on you, but I think this person always, and that's maybe this collective, you are kind of right. Maybe this person's always acted like they were very much above everybody else. And now that they see you, they're like, ooh, okay. But they admire your work. They love what you do. I think they're actually proud of you when it does come to that. I will say the biggest change of heart that has happened was the way they looked at you as, okay. And I could see them coming in and saying, hey, I was wrong. Maybe this person in a way did underestimate you a little bit, or maybe not appreciated you as much also as well. But like, they did in private, that makes any sense. I don't know. Maybe they weren't the greatest influence on putting your work out there. They weren't your biggest cheerleader back then. Now they are. And I think that's another reason why they're coming in, is because now they see you as a catch. Wow. That could be another thing with art. You could be a photographer. That just hit me. You could be into photography. I just said they're looking at your photos. That's what I'm saying. They could be looking at your work, but I'm also hearing, like, there's something to do with artistic creativeness. You could be a photographer. That just hit me. Yeah. But I think the biggest thing coming next is more of what is really their intentions and what really needs to be said. We already know what their intentions are, but I really want to see how are they going to come in. So that way I'm going to start with tarot on that one. Okay. So this collective. All right. What is this person's true intentions coming in? We already kind of know, but let me start out with 4. Oh, okay. 4. Perfect. 7 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Emperor, and then the 5 of Cups. Okay. That's where I was concerned about that 7 of Cups. They're kind of still they're not ready. Even though that Emperor's there, they're still kind of keeping you up as like an option right there, okay? That's where I'm saying with that 5 of Cups. I do feel like there is a little bit of regret as far as with that Page of Pentacles, as far as you starting your business, starting your artistic thing. They didn't really see you at that kind of, they kind of underestimated you on maybe on some things, or they're at least shocked that you got, and they're kind of proud of that, and that I could see a little bit of remorse coming in. But what have I always said about my Seven of Cups? You can sip on as many cups as you want. One of them is bound to be poisonous. And we discussed earlier, I feel like your person's going through a Seven of Cups moment. They sipped on the cup that was a snake. And I think this person could have moved on or started to see somebody that they thought was going to be the greatest potential of all time. And it ended anything but that. I think your person is going to come in and cover that up. Again, I think this collective, you're very much correct. This person does have a little bit of vainness. It's like they have a hard time expressing vulnerability. No, I'm good. I didn't go through that. I don't think this person's coming in all the way honest. I think with that Emperor, this is heavy Aries energy coming out. You or this person could be an Aries. Yeah, they got their little heart broken, but they're not showing it. Yeah, they're not doing good. But why they come their feminines? Because you are home to them. Literally, 10 of Wands in reverse. You're going to release those burdens for them, right? There is a little bit of begging coming, I will say. What's this Page of Pentacles? Nine of Swords. They don't want to lose you. I don't think this person is going to straight up say, I don't want to lose you. But in their own way, they're doing that. Why? Because why do you think they're coming back in? That's common psychology. If this person truly never cared about, and again, what they're doing is not right. Let me see what that Emperor, because I'm not buying this Emperor. Six of Swords. I'm also hearing there's still some father wounds that need to be shriveled out. But yeah, Three of Wands in reverse. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now, you take, which I don't think this collective you will at all. You invite this person back, they will sail away from you all over again. They come in an Aries energy, sorry, but like Emperor energy. I said that for a reason. Like I said, this person could very much be an Aries. Emperor is such masculine, but very impulsive energy, very direct. That's how this person's always come in. And that's where maybe you do look at this person maybe sometimes as a little bit manipulative, because they would come in very fierce and very strong and very compassionate towards you. And then, I'm moving on. I'm done. I'm bored now. I'm going to see what other cups is out there. They still, and again, are they intentionally coming in with this? No, but that is a wounding they still have yet to heal from. They're still an avoidant. And I'm also hearing this person could have some serious father wounds with that Emperor energy. Five of Cups, what are they in regret about? Let me confirm that. Queen of Swords. That's what I'm saying. This person is not naive in some form of sense. Yeah, judgment. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, what have I done type of ordeal, okay? Especially if you're putting, again, your work out onto the scene. Again, I said this earlier, and my ears ringing really bad sign. Your ears could be ringing. This person knows a text message, a DM with you is not going to cut it, okay? They know they have probably pushed you a little too far, that they're going to create some form of other outlet. So they may straight up, I'm going to be honest, knock on your door. You may even run into them out in public. I feel like you're going to have a face-to-face moment with this person, and that's kind of what they're seeking for, okay? I will say I think there is a little bit of regret about what they've done as far as how they've always treated you, but nothing's actually, it's kind of that what's changed. And that's something, again, this person, I have to say this person is going to work extra hard to get on under your good graces, but again, subconsciously, they're still an avoidant. This relationship, it triggers them in a way. Being committed right now still triggers them. And again, guys, if that is not something you want to wait on, I always preach to my clients and even on TikTok, you should never wait on a connection ever, okay? What this person is planning on providing you is not it. It's still very wounded. Again, do I think they are meaning? Are they going to come in and be like, ha? Do they want a reaction out of you with that Queen of Swords? Like I said earlier, yeah, because it's theirs. And again, that's where that little vainness that we talked about is kind of setting in, because it's kind of that toxic trait of like, oh, for example, oh, she's mad at me. Well, at least I got something out of her. There's something about silence with this person scares the crap out of them, because they know they've blown it with you. This is all over the place. This is not good. Seven of Cups. Death in reverse. Nothing's changed. They haven't went through a true you really want a rebirth process to happen. Yes, Seven of Swords. It's still sneaky energy. It's not good. They're coming in because something downfalled, literally an ending has take place in their world. They're realizing, I think that is, okay, I know it's all very confusing, but I know the regret that's kind of seeming in is like, I think now it's kind of hit them, okay, you're not one to be replaced that easily. And they can't. And that's why they've always avoided you. It's like they thought that you were somebody they could get over. They can't. They're looking for a reaction out of you, especially with that Emperor, that fiery energy, that very... They're looking for something, and it doesn't. And again, I don't think this person wants to come in to hurt you, but they know they pushed you over the line. It's kind of in a way they not want a self-sabotaging moment, but if that's what it takes, that's what it's going to take for them to get something out of you. But again, it's kind of they're looking for a way also to sail away. Again, you can't make this person stay. If they want to sail away, and no offense, they've done this to you, you know, how many other times. If they want to walk away from you, let them. Which I think this collective, you will. But this is where I don't like this person's like, again, that vainness. They still want to see you as the bad guy. I don't like that. And no, that's why this collective, I said at the beginning of this reading, do not give this person that kind of power. 2 of Pentacles and 4 of Pentacles. That's what I'm saying. They're still guarded. They're not balanced out yet. They haven't gotten anything under control in their own world. They're dealing with toxicity behind the scenes you may not even be aware about. There's the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This person needs to work on their masculine energy. I always say a true masculine would come in, not only tell their feminine what they want, but actually show their feminine. They're not going to show you. They're going to tell you all the right things, but not do it. And if they get a reaction out of you, again, that's pretty negative. They're going to be like, they're going to throw that pity party of going, see, I knew it. They were mean to me. This is why I don't fall in love. And again, it's not so much of what they think, but again, like I said, beginning of this reading, I already gave you that speech. That is not who you are. That's not what you're not going to get a favorable outcome with or without this person. Doesn't matter. Standing in your power is standing in your power. Calm, collected, silent sometimes. Lashing out does no good. What have I always said about my Queen of Swords? She's my cutthroat. They're already giving you a heads up, and if any way you do this, you're going to regret it. And it's not so much of, oh gosh, if I push this person away for good, no, because it's not really who you are. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, anybody that, lashes out like that, you're expressing your wounded energy. You're giving too much of your power away that should not be happening. And you're not healed. And I think that's where this person is kind of toxic. They're looking for that. But they're not even guilty. But if you're going to really, I think their woundedness is going to come up to the scenes. But let's just see now. I'm going to switch up decks. I haven't used this deck in a long time. I'm going to use this. I want to see what advice does your guides have for you when this person comes in. What advice do you have for this collective when this comes in? Let's start with 4 again. Okay. 5 of Pentacles, the Moon in reverse, Ace of Cups, and then the 3 of Pentacles. One second. Like I said, I think the one thing the both of you are mirroring on is the both of you in your own way have never told each other how you really felt. Again, yours is more negative. Theirs is more how they really talk about their feelings, okay? I think you and I can both agree your person's not going to come in and be like, oh my gosh, you're the love of my life. I choose you. You're my twin flame. You're my soul. We both agree. They're still on their dumb right now, okay? I'm here and flip the script on them. Let me actually see more about that Ace of Cups. 2 of Swords. Call them out. Again, not lash out. You could call them out. For some of you, again, use discernment. For some of you, you could just say, nope, I don't want to talk to you. Goodbye. I'm not into this right now, that alone will scare the crap out of this person, because they know there's something about, they know your silence. That means you are really done, especially in the past if you've been a heavy chaser. But yeah, Queen of Cups in reverse, your emotions need to be turned off when it comes to this. Think very logically. And that's another thing I forgot to express. Anytime, again, somebody vents out their anger like that, that's coming from a place of emotion. You're not thinking logically on this. As collective, you need to think logically on this. And I'm getting a lot of air and earth energy. Could be you and this person. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But even then, that is the energy that needs to be done here. Think logically and ground yourself, okay? Ask them questions. Is this what, do you really want me right now? Is that what you really want? If you're wanting to have a conversation with them. Do you know what you want? I would call them out. Remain calm. And if they, because I'm warning you, because you already know. They're going to lie. Yeah, I know what I want. No, I don't think you do. Five of Pentacles, literally leave them their butt out in the cold and say no. Which, again, you already know how to do. But with that Three of Pentacles, too, at the end, it's kind of like find a way to humble them without, again, let me finish my three. Okay, I got to cover this up. A Three of Cups. Again, call them out on the third parties. Why are you coming back now? You've always, again, calmly, you've always chosen other people above me. Why now? What's changed? They're not really going to tell you the truth on that. And if you could and if you know that with the moon in reverse, they're lying, they're throwing weird like illusions up in your face. Again, you're already caught on to that. And again, I think where your anger is coming from is you want them to see things from your perspective. They're not. You don't have to accept their behavior, but you, again, call them out. I have to move this card, sorry, to the side, because it's a lot of nudity. But anyways, yeah, the Sun. I would be so about this if I were you, but that is completely okay. The best word I could describe for this collective is you got to call them out. Their behavior is not okay. You don't, I keep doing that. You cannot be choosing other people, and then when something goes wrong, when I know something's going wrong, all of a sudden come back in the picture. Yeah, Six of Wands. When they're coming to you, when you're at a success. But I also hear with your career, with your artistic abilities, you're about to go through a breakthrough, but this karmic cycle with this person needs to end, right? Let me do another one for that Five of Pentacles. And then the High Priestess in reverse. 1 second. As much as you're holding anger towards this person, I'm going to be honest, this person may try to smooch their way in, especially with that Ace of Cups. With that High Priestess reverse energy right there, do not shut your intuition down when it comes to this person. And that's another thing, I guess, you're holding resentments, is I believe it or not, I think this collective, you will start to feel better after this conversation when you really caught on to their own BS. You know what I'm saying? Is how many times have you slapped yourself on the knee every time you shut down your intuition for this person? Don't shut down your intuition, especially when you're in face-to-face mode with them. Because naturally, I know we all say, like, we know what we're going to say. We know how we're going to react or do but when we're, especially when it comes to somebody we love or had feelings for or have certain, emotions towards, we could tend to shut down our emotions and, again, go back to that bad habit of seeking the potential. Do not fall for the illusions. You already know, in a way, what this person's up to. It's not good. They want a reaction out of you. Don't give them that reaction. Don't do it. See right through the BS. I think that what they want the most with that Ace of Cups, though, is they want you to take them back, take their energy back. There's still confusion here. You both are still in that Two of Swords energy. You don't know which direction to go with each other. You can't make this person open up to you. And again, use discernment. You don't have to. You could tell this person, this is how you've always I shut down my intuition because you've always lied to me. You've always left me out in the cold. You've always chosen third parties over me. You've always made me feel like, I was beneath you. You underestimated me. You made me feel horrible about myself. Why would I take you back? Call them out. but calmly. But cussing them out and throwing fists and screaming and yelling is not doing any good. Or, again, you could say, no, or for this collective, you could really be done with this person and be done. There still needs to be time between you and this person. I will confirm this a little bit with my Oracle deck, but I'm going to be honest, I don't see another rebound until possibly the end of the year. This person it's not good. It is childish behavior what they're doing. It's manipulative. And that's what I'm saying. I really feel for what this collective has went through when it comes to this person, but that's another thing. They don't want you. They're not worth their energy. Look at you and look at them. And let's be real. And this is where I kind of feel conflicted in the reading as well, because if this person has always looked at you as like in a way that you were beneath them or they didn't believe in you, that may be another healing journey. Is that got a notification sign? Is that an energy you really want? Is that a soulmate? I don't care if it's your twin flame or not. Let's be real. The whole point of twin flames is to trigger out the dark sides in us, the shadow aspects in ourselves. They hold a mirror up to all of our face, in your face, and say, these are some things you need to work on. Maybe that is a hard thing, and believe it or not, the more you deal with that shadow worked area, the more you're going to feel better, at least have some form of clarity. Is this a love story I want? Is that my husband? Is that my wife? Do I really want somebody that really didn't believe in me all the way until it was too late? Do I really want somebody that I should invite back in my life that never chose me first, but now all of a sudden, there may be some shadow work when it comes to this person you still need to work through, but the resentment's got to go. As bad as it sounds, you can't have both. You can't want a future reaction out or a future potential out of them, but then tell them to go away. At the same time, what is happening is you're becoming exactly like this person. Don't do that. It's still not good, even for if you want to choose somebody else moving forward. Okay. A personal issue reaches resolution. That's what I'm saying. Full moon in Cancer. Don't let your pride get in the way. Not worth it. I always say, ego's not your amigo. It's not worth it. Don't become what they become of you. You're better than that. That is not, one-upping somebody as far as in a vicious way is not being in your Empress energy. That is such a page energy. You're above that. Remember that. Okay? But that's where I'm saying a personal issue reaches resolution. I think if you call this person out, tell them to go away, you're going to feel better because you actually stood in your power. So believe it or not, this was meant to heal you in a subtle way, not necessarily take this person back. You and your loved ones are safe. Also, new moon in Cancer is very significant here. Cancer energy. But I feel like Cancer season, you're going to feel better. At least about the issue. Luck is on your side. Truly. Oh. Your dreams need a practical plan. Especially if you got started in your business. And I also got full moon in Taurus. Tauruses could be very significant as well. If you, emotions are running high, both of you. When it comes to you and this person, I'm telling you, you lead with logic, not your emotions when it comes to this person, okay? If you are starting your business or getting yourself out there, I'm hearing instead of being so fixated, and that will something I feel like that will slowly heal you and slowly, yes, I did say that this collective, you are detached, but again, you're still holding on to certain things that no longer serve you. There's full moon energies popping out here, which is all about releasing negative emotions that don't serve you. That's what they're telling you. The more you delve into your projects, your career, 321 on my timer sign, the more you're really going to see clarity on the situation. As bad as it sounds, I feel like this collective, you want answers overnight. It's always been within you. You just got to dig down and reach into that. One more. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah, be bold and... You and this person, one of you could be born on a full moon, the other one on a new moon, vice versa. Make the first move as far as call them out. Don't fall for it. Don't play into their little games. A time to give rather than take. Give in to yourself. All right. I know that was kind of a rough reading, but again, you got a harsh lesson coming up, unfortunately, okay? All right. I got my date cards, but I separated the... Yep. So I'm just going to lay these out. September, summer, one day. This person could come in 24 hours. And then I got November. Significant memories, birthdays, upcoming ones to think about. Let me finish out the rest. Fall time, 9th, the 1st, 23rd, Christmas in July. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. For this person, I don't see it till at least winter time. This person's got a ways to go. Personally, based off everything I've read through this reading, I would move on from this person. You deserve better. Twin flame or not, they were meant to teach you a solid lesson. They were meant to reflect the dark shadows of yourself, and you're meant to work through it. Don't carry it on and put that kind of resentment towards the next person. V, O, G, C, W, or M, S, K, W, J, B, P, F, Q. These are first, last, middle initials, you and this person. XX, this could come, I would say no later than 10 days this would come in. R, Z, and then K. All right. Angel numbers. These are angel numbers you're probably already seeing. I always drop cards. Okay. All right, so I got 222, 444, 111. I said that earlier. 7777, 0606, 0707, 1011, 0330, 0000, 2323, 333, and 1010. All right. I hope this helped, my babies. I hope you guys take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, my loves.